A woman is a sniper sitting in an ambush, waiting for the plane to arrive, when a man stepped out of the wing of an airplane. She fired a shot. Then, she picked up the used shell casing. Think about your escape plan. In another place, a man wakes up from a nightmare and drives at night. Hope forgot about the terrible rain. He spends the remaining hours until dawn by the seashore, looks sadly at a happy couple walking their dog. Then, he receives a letter from an unknown sender and sets off for the Marine Corps base. When entering the government area, he went to the office of a woman who claimed to be Agent Bartholomew. She knew that Levi came from a military family and that he himself was an elite marksman. With 113 murders, it was especially difficult. After retirement, he received his own contracts, but now he is no longer bound by any obligations. Although willing to cooperate with the Marines at any time, he turned down all contracts because the military psychologist judged him unfit to serve. He's crazy, no girlfriend. There are no relatives worried about me. The man did not use or test the substance because all of those things affected his accuracy. Levi may have appealed the doctor's conclusion, but he saw no reason to do so, and there's really no reason to do much else. Meanwhile, at the cemetery of a small village in Lithuania, a man is playing the guardian. Then his daughter approached. She's the marksman we've seen. The name is Adele. Today is a day of remembrance for their mother and wife, and they always try to meet at her grave. The father heard that Rosa had accepted a contract to assassinate a bro tycoon, and the daughter admitted that it was a difficult job because the man she screeched had 4 children. As her father reminded her that the tycoon had sold phosphorus bombs and anti-personnel mines. It is impossible to count the number of children who have lost their health, even lives. Because of that man, Rosa gave her father a bullet casing, which he put in his wallet along with a few others. Believing that her daughter is doing the right thing, he asked Rosa to stay with him for a few weeks, but she was ordered to report back to Moscow. The father did not like this. She was Lithuanian anyway and did not have to follow orders. He was terminally ill and did not want to die in terrible pain. Therefore, he decided to end his life on Valentine's Day. He asked her, wherever you are on February 14th, to light a candle for him, look at the constellation of Orion, and say goodbye. Sometime later, Levi set off on another mission. In front is a forbidden area, where his plane could not fly in. To reach the destination, he will have to walk 38 kilometers to the north. They took away his electronic devices and watches, but handed him a sealed envelope containing information about the mission. Levi parachuted and quickly landed in a forest. He went through the mountains, got there, where there was a soldier waiting to greet him. He will hand over the task to him. Jasper was thrilled to see Levi again, after 1 or 5 long lives alone here. Levi admitted that he knew nothing about the mission at all. I don't even know what country I'm in. Sooner or later, the soldier led him to a watchtower. The place will be the residence of Levi for the next 5 years. It is completely self-sufficient, equipped with solar cells, generators, and stormwater collection systems. The surroundings are full of wildlife, and there's even a garden. On the other side of the abyss was a similar outpost. It belongs to the Eastern Bloc. Levi couldn't go there even if he wanted to, for the slopes of the chasm were mined and full of traps of all kinds. So, each side just does its job. The work here is quite simple, suitable for a qualified technician. He had to carry out a daily patrol along the western border, check for fortified defensive points. Every 30 days, there will be a check-in and connection with the outside world. Satellite broadcasting stations are installed along the border to protect the zone by sending false signals. Therefore, the place is invisible to reconnaissance satellites and reconnaissance drones. There is no contact with the outside world. In the worst case, there will be an emergency button to alert the authorities if something happens. If all systems are down or there is an intrusion, the system will activate the strange dog protocol. Justin didn't know what it was, but if Levi hears the siren, the best way is to run far. He thought it was all related to the Cold War, because every 5, a man from the west will patrol this side, while the person from the east will watch the other side of the wife. And it's been like this for 5 years. No one has discovered exactly what is inside the abyss. The main goal is not to let what's in the abyss get out of 1-5 first. When Justin took over, he also thought his predecessor was crazy, but he witnessed something that other soldiers called Justin-like people who didn't know what they really were. Although the phrase was taken from the work of a poet, Justin knew that in the late 5'40s, 3 regiments, 2,000 soldiers, and 40 cavalry were sent into the chasm to clear it. But no one came back after that. Since then, they switched to containment systems. Justin learned all this from his predecessors, but it was this soldier who believed that the abyss was the entrance to hell and that they were guarding the entrance. The soldiers said goodbye to each other, and the news left for the pickup point, where a helicopter will come to pick him up. Soon, the plane appeared in the sky and dropped a cable. But when Justin climbs up, the pilot shot him and threw his body down. Then, he reported to Bartholomew that the shift was complete. A month passed. Levi worked hard to carry out his duty. Go on patrol every day. Check all weapons. Make sure the mines are ready. Then report to your superiors that everything is going well. In free time, he reads. There are many books in a watchtower. One day, he noticed a few quotes on the wall. Perhaps it was left by his predecessors, recorded from previous decades. Occasionally, he takes care of the garden, harvests the last products of the season. And one day, he heard a sawing from the other side of the abyss. Looked through the telescope. He saw a woman. Pray so. She also tried to identify her colleague on the other side. But when she saw him move, you go back to your work. Levi awoke from a familiar nightmare, jumped up and grabbed his rifle without realizing he had made his wife glass, and had his leg cut off by pieces of scraps. The bloody footprints on the floor helped him wake up. He picked up his telescope and saw the crossing. He didn't sleep either, but when she realized he was looking, she blew out the candle and moved deep into the room. Another month passed. Rosa celebrates her birthday and then begins to observe Levi. Depressed, she decided to play a joke, shoot a shot into the sky to get his attention. When he just took the telescope, she held up a sign asking him to give her name. He warned her that contact was forbidden, but Rosa didn't mind. She wrote her name, and because today was her birthday, she declared that she would do as she pleased. Levi laughed, write her name, and suggest that they have a drink together to congratulate her. The woman then turned on the music and asked him to dance with her. As Levi insists that he doesn't know how to dance, Rosa didn't believe him. Surely, there must be something you are good at? Levi confesses that he is a good marksman. Rosa wants proof. Levi placed his wine bottle on the wall, planned to sell them, but Rosa dropped it first with one of her shots. Reply. Levi damaged her bottle of wine with a bullet. Dressar then balances another bottle on top, shows that he can continue to practice. But suddenly, she lost her balance a little and was startled, dropped the bottle, and signaled him to look down. Levi looked into the darkness and quickly spotted a moving object, a strange creature that resembles a living tree. He opened it as soon as one of these creatures stepped on mine and exploded, like the others that continued to climb the wall. Sending away now also opens the gun. Help Levi shoot down the monsters. Both of them took down several creatures together, then silenced envelopes. But as soon as Rosa stepped back from the edge of the wall, hands like branches clinging to the edge of the wall, and a wooden monster crawled up. It continued to move towards her, ignoring her shots, and Levi protected her with a bullet from his rifle. He immediately realized that the same people were also attacking her on the other side. So, he began to shoot towards her, help her fight against them. Mines exploded on shore, candle Rosa to the side, like Levi shielded her with machine gun bullets. It's like she did it for him a while ago. Last, the attack ended. They sat in silence in the dark for a long time. Try to regain your composure. Then, Dressar examined the wound she hadn't noticed during the fight and wrote that it was the best birthday she'd ever had. The next morning, Levi rechecked his side and closing the gaps in the defenses caused by last night's battle and laid more mines. Suddenly, a drone appeared from the border area, causing the turret to react immediately on the Levi side. The anxious man watches to see what happens next, but the drone flew away and the gun fell silent. Another month passed, and Levi was doing errands in his free time, while Rosa plays the piano. Then one day, Dressar saw a Christmas tree lit across the chasm and a holiday message for her. The two made snowmen together and named them after each other. It was as if they were getting closer together. They even started playing chess together. Call your moves one by one. One evening, the pair set up a real battle against each other. Use whatever they could find as a percussion instrument. February came. Levi woke up from a nightmare and went out onto the balcony. With a wind hissed, he realized that Crossy had also tried. The next morning, he wrote her a letter, but she didn't reply because it was February 14th. She turned on box track and it was difficult. Remember your father. When Levi notices this, he asked what happened. Rosa confides that she is going through a difficult day and suddenly wishes he could be with her. Levi couldn't sleep through the night. Think about this situation. Then he read a quote on the wall about the courage of those who have gone far and embark on the construction of a complex device. The next morning, in the distance, Levi was seen firing a grenade across the shore beside her. With a rope attached, create a temporary bridge. She ran into the forest, found the device is smoldering, extinguish it and tie the rope during the planting season. Then, she saw a piece of paper with an invitation to dinner. Levi groomed himself and picked a bouquet of wildflowers, then plunged to his brink, glide through the rope. But he slowed down before he got to Rosa's session and had to drag himself away by hand. This is not easy. Holding up his distance, he invited him to eat rabbit cake, and he gave her flowers. He couldn't help but express his admiration, because when you're close, she was even more beautiful. She suggested that he take a shower in the sauna first, because he was sweating when he crossed the ropes. Levi laughed, explained that he miscalculated the tension of the rope. Going away promised to bring him an old set of clothes from his predecessors, but she teased him by hanging them a little too far from the sauna, forcing him to run around with nothing to wear. Then, they ate lunch and speculated about where they might be in the world. Both were injected during transportation, so they don't know anything. Levi could say one thing for sure. They are in the northern hemisphere. Levi later admitted that he was a gunner. Immediately, who does Rosa recognize who he is? The shot at the gym was the pinnacle of sniper technique. Levi moves the story back to their place. Rosa explained that her father had advised her not to know the whole truth. Levi talks about his childhood, where his father taught him how to shoot. That night, they turned on the music and Rosa did the dancing. Note that he lied about not knowing how to dance. He is very skillful. The two became closer after that. They chat about everything, eager to learn more about each other. Levi confessed that he had written a poem for her, but refused to read it the next morning. Levin said goodbye to Rosa. Admittedly, her cake is amazing. Then he returned to the other side of his wife's side. But when he got close to his side, a mine exploded. The rope broke and he fell to the ground. Immediately, took up the weapon, parachute and follow him. But dense fog obscures a river that rages the border, and she fell into it, quickly sink down. She was just sober enough to cut her parachute cord, to the point of equipping and trying to survive by clinging to a fallen tree. Meanwhile, Levi hung upside down, unconscious in one of Vu's giant ancient trees, not knowing that its branches are coming to life, transformed into an insect creature that was about to devour him. Fortunately, he regained consciousness and promptly shot down the monster, and the star heard the gunshots and hurriedly ran towards the sound. While Levi fell from a tree and hid under the tree, he realized they were waking up and tried to pull him down to the rock, seemingly intending to enjoy you. A huge mouth like the store was about to close on him when you get out and open your gun, causing the rows of trees to retreat. Levi thanked her for saving him, but she was sure that he would do the same for her. The two wandered through the foggy forest, discuss how to get out of here. Suddenly, a horse made from the roots of a puppet tree attacks them. The man on horseback is a strange creature that resembles a plant. This figure dodged their bullets and then attacked Gaza, while Levi fights the horse. The two finally defeated these bizarre creatures. Levi speculates that the living humans may be food for these plant monsters later. Rosa realized that she had lost a rope in the river, and it was now unclear how they were able to climb back up. She offered to follow the river. Hopefully there will be an exit somewhere. Levi pointed to the pieces of uniform on the fallen cavalrymen. All are post-war costumes from the 5-1940s. This must be the ruins of the cavalry that have disappeared. They set off. Marvel at the strange clusters of trees and bushes. Fearful, there's clearly a human form. Soon, they came to an area with partially destroyed structures. Appears to have been damaged by that activity. They enter a building that looks like a church and go inside. The rows of seats are still there, and sometimes they see human bodies on chairs. The system detected a familiar smell and speculated that the people had died from intoxication. Like, how could this happen? They start begging to leave here as soon as possible. Then suddenly, giant spiders fall from above. They shot their way in and out and ran towards the door. As soon as the mummies on the chairs began to move, shoot a grenade into the wall of the church. The flames flared up, and they got out of this nightmare in time. They try to hide, but it is impossible. Monsters are everywhere. Rosa suggested that they stick to the shore, where at least no one can attack from behind. They ran there and found an entrance to a fairly intact brothel, where they can set up a barrier and rest a bit. Soon, they realized this was a base built in their wife's stone. They discovered an old laboratory full of chemicals and compounds. Searching it, Levi detects a movie in a detector that is still working. No matter how many 5 have passed, the light comes on. Levi finds a projector and they show a movie. In it, a laboratory worker describes a secret alliance of Eastern and Western nations near the end of World War II, while Open or Fuzzy is developing a nuclear bomb. They have developed a chemical warhead with unprecedented destructive power in this laboratory. Suddenly, a violent earthquake occurred in the area, destroyed the laboratory. Biological contamination then combined human DNA with trees, animals, and even insects, turned humans into monsters. Nevertheless, some individuals are more resistant to infection. If no mutations appear within 5 days, a person will become immune. The woman in the film shows scary changes in her body, while Rosa noticed a sealed syringe containing the solution. Meanwhile, the scientist continued to speak. Humanity can be saved only because the abyss is located in an impassable area. She begged for forgiveness and hoped that God would have mercy on them. The movie ends, and you continue your journey. They soon found a room with modern equipment. Obviously, things didn't exist in the middle of the 20th century. So, this lab must have been in operation until recently. But why not simply bomb to destroy the threat to humanity? Levi turned on a computer and read the name of a militarized organization. Reply. He realized they were not working for the military, but in a company of 4. Obviously, a very wealthy and powerful company. He knows that Datli specializes in collecting samples of hybrid creatures around the globe. So this company must be creating super warriors and protecting its secrets. Levi then saw a program name called Strata Fortress and recalled the skin's warning. He realized that this was the code of a thermonuclear bomb. The abyss should have been destroyed in the event of a leak, but it was clear that the earthquake had damaged it. Levi admits that if they can't get out, it was still worth it because he had met her. They prepare for the journey ahead. When she went away, she realized that she had forgotten her bag at the entrance, where all their ammunition is located. They had no choice but to go back. Throw a smoke grenade as a shield. They went out. Dressar retrieves the bag, but from the smoke, a long root stretches out, grab her legs, and pull her away at high speed. It stumbles over the level. A man who took off his horse on a horse caught her and carried her into the darkness. She tried to cut off the roots, but suddenly she crashes into something and loses consciousness. Levi chases after her and quickly finds a damaged rocket silo. Rosa regained consciousness and found herself hanging in a room, with an empty person looking at her. Clearly deciding where to start eating, she managed to free herself and counterattack. But the monster was very strong and took it far, using a log from the fire to set on fire, but it almost defeated her. Then, Levi appears and rescues her. He examines the hollow and realizes it is the ruins of one of his predecessors. It was the officer who named these creatures as Copsers. They left early, discovering the damaged missiles in a crowd of mutants. Their combination with trees turned space into a nightmare like a spider's web. Very far away, and Levi carefully moved over. Like a tree creature, the man grabbed her away and Levi struggled to rescue her. They fled, shoot at the living tentacles, until the Crossy sells a grenade. Make half a coconut tree. Help them get out, but not for long. They found a Jeep that was still in operation, equipped with a powerful crane, and drive to the cliff, while Rosa fights the empty ones. Levi uses a crane to throw the cable to the top, and the car starts pulling them up. Like the monsters didn't give up. All the way up, they have to fight empty people. Almost fell into the abyss. When there were only a few meters left to reach the top, Levi almost slipped but managed to cling to the chassis. He punctured the gas tank, caused fuel to spill out, and with the creatures that are still attached to the wires. Levi lit the zip and plunged down. Make melons coax people. And Levi and Rosa were hanging from the cliff. Then the sand is thick. They finally came up to the lighting of Raza. After a moment of calming down, they discussed the next step. If infected, there's only one option to return to gender, but they need to wait 5 days to see if they have any symptoms. Levi admitted that he was sent here because there was no one. So, no one will look for you? But now everything has changed. Rosa suggested fleeing to France, as Levi believes they must destroy the abyss first. He returned and contacted his superiors. Report that everything is normal. Nevertheless, the bells of the Datli have detected activity from the Eastern Observer. Therefore, Bartholomew ordered the removal of the Levi. He didn't know that she was spying on him through a secret video system and already knew his journey down there. She ordered the helicopter to be prepared. The next morning, Levi and the Crossy perform their usual duties. When a helicopter appears, They hid in the forest like drones spotted them. The two tried to get out of the dangerous area of the missiles, but the worms began to shoot. Injured pair because Rosa was able to shoot down the metal hunters. Last, they escaped from the danger zone, while Bartholomew saw the Buddhist quote that Levi had left on the wall and realized it was time to leave. Nevertheless, Levi and Sam at gunpoint triggers a series of explosions, expose the abyss to spy satellites. Then, because the stray dog awakening is activated, the helicopter took off but was captured in the explosion. Levi was also swept into the river by the shockwave and disappeared into the water. Rosa waited 6 days in a nearby cave before leaving. Sometime later, she went to France and finally opened his last letter, including a poem he wrote for her. She was difficult. Remember about Levi. She started working at a cafe, and one day, she suddenly saw Levi sitting at a table. Rosa refrained from rushing into his arms, simply asking why he was gone for so long. Levi admitted he was seriously injured, but now he was ready to work in her kitchen. They kissed,